Good morning, students. Welcome back to SBR online class. Today we'll continue that activity from page number 72. Okay. Activity number 6.3 from page number 72. Yesterday I said that already we discussed some in-text questions and one activity. Now remaining one activity is there. That activity is related to plant tissues. Now we'll discuss this activity later on. That we will go towards the next part. That one is animal tissues. Okay. First, related to this activity, some procedures are there. Whatever the activity, if you want to do, means some protocol, some procedure is there, step by step. With the help of that easily helps to do that activity. Okay. Let's see that procedure. What's the procedure? Okay. I will write these points, procedures one by one. Okay. Points. First one, take a freshly plucked leaf of royo. Second, stretch and break stretch and break it by, see the procedure, stretch and break it by applying pressure. Applying pressure means after plucking the leaf, external force we are applying on leaf. Because of what reason? To stretch that leaf and to break that leaf. Then next, third step, while breaking it, okay, while breaking it, keep it stretched, keep it stretched gently, so that keep it stretched gently, so that some peel or skin, some peel or skin, some peel or skin projects out. That is, it comes out. Okay, projects out from the cut. Projects out from the cut. Then next step, remove this peel and after that remove this peel and put it in a petri dish filled with water. Petri dish filled with water. Okay. Next, add a few drops of saffron. Add few drops of saffron. See, this saffron, it is there in red color. It is a chemical agent that easily helps to identify the cell when you are seeing under the microscope. Okay, I will tell about that next. See the next point. Wait for a couple of minutes. Wait for a couple of minutes and then transfer it onto a slide. Then after that, gently place a cover slip. Gently place a cover slip over it. Means by using cover slip, in the name only it says cover, that covers the specimen, that covers the cells, whichever it is on the glass slide. Okay. Next, last. After this, observe under microscope. Observe under microscope. Why? Because here microscope have a main role. Whenever you want to see any small tissues, otherwise what we call small microorganisms. Let's see here the main steps what we need here. See, the steps are there. Take a freshly plucked leaf of Froyo. We need a leaf, okay? Why? Because we need to observe some cells, how they look like under the microscope, okay? Because of that reason, we need some leaf, the part of the plant. Why? Because we are studying about here what plant tissues, the types of plant tissues like meristematic, apical, lateral, intercalary. When it comes to the permanent, we are again two types: simple, complex. Simple means parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. When it comes to complex, where two types: xylem and phloem. When you need to see these cells or tissues, that time we need some parts of the plant. When you are by taking that part, when you are observing under the microscope, why? Because again microscope is the needful instrument for this activity. Why? Because very small part, the tissues or cells, they look like very small, minute in structures. Because of that reason, when you want to see their structures, we need a microscope. Okay. Now stretch and break it by applying pressure. Why? Because after taking a leaf, see, just to think, we are taking a leaf. Okay. After that, what we are doing, by applying the pressure, we are stretching it and we are breaking it. We need to break the leaf. Because of what reason? We need to observe the cells. Okay. See now, third step. While breaking it, keep it stretched gently. Keep it stretched gently. Because of what reason? Some peel or skin projects out. We need a peel or skin of this one. Then next, fourth step you read. Remove this peel. After stretching and breaking, remove the peel or skin. Remove the peel or skin. Remove the peel and put it in a petri dish filled with water. Petri dish is nothing but as a glass plate. Okay, just to think. It is a glass plate that we call petri dish. This petri dish contains what here? Water. In this petri dish, we are keeping this leaf. After breaking and after stretching, by removing the peel and skin, we are keeping that leaf in this petri dish. Okay. Next, add few drops of safranin. See, this safranin is a chemical agent that is in a red color. Okay, safranin. Add few drops. In this petri dish, already it contain what? Leaf. They will add few drops of which one? Safranin. Few drops of safranin. It's like just example. Okay, how safranin works means, just you think. Take one glass jar. Okay, take one glass jar. In this glass jar, add few amount of drops here. Water. Okay, fill this jar with water. Then take one white cotton cloth. White cotton cloth. Clearly, I am mentioning here cloth is in white color. Cloth in This cloth it is in white color. Okay. Then keep this cotton cloth inside the glass jar that contain the water. Up to this step, the cloth color is white only. Then at that time, after keeping, we are adding some few drops of color. Okay, it may be any color. Here we are adding blue color. Okay, here we are adding blue color, and we are keeping it for minimum couple of minutes, means 5 to 10 minutes. Keep it for 5 to 10 minutes. After 5 to 10 minutes, just to remove this cotton cloth from this jar, whether it is white or other color. Before that it is in white color. After adding blue color in this jar, and we are keeping it after 5 to 10 minutes. After 5 to 10 minutes, while you are removing and when you are observing, the cotton cloth color, it turns from white to blue. Because of what reason? We are adding color here. Same in the way, here this petri dish already it contains the water. In that water we are keeping which one? Peel or skin. Then we are adding few drops of saffron. That peel or skin or leaf that present in this petri dish, after adding saffron, that absorb the color. That absorb the color. Because of that reason we are adding here which one? Saffron. Why? Because like some cells are colorless. If it is colorless means it is difficult to identify. When it is colorless means it is difficult to identify the cell, their size, their structure under the microscope. Because of that reason we are adding some amount of saffron, very few. Means a few drops, 2 to 3 drops of saffron we are adding in this petri dish. And we are keeping it for minimum 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. After that what happens? Whatever the peel present in this petri dish, that easily absorb the color. Okay, that easily absorb the color. At that time, it easily helps to identify the cells. In which color? It will appear in red color. Because of adding of what? Saffron. Red. Okay. Now, see here. After that, wait for a couple of minutes and then transfer it onto a slide. Here we are using a slide. This we call glass slide. Why? Because glass slide is a equipment, is a thing where on that glass slide we are placing a specimen from where to where, from this petri dish to glass slide. In middle of the glass slide we are placing this specimen. Okay, whatever it is present in this petri dish, and this specimen that is covered by a cover slip. Cover slip is nothing but a small piece of glass, very thin in structure, that we are placing on the specimen on glass slide. Okay. Now, after that, observe under the microscope. After this step, you should observe under microscope by taking this glass slide and this specimen, the peel or skin of the leaf that is covered by cover slip. This is the slide. See, leaf. After breaking and stretching, we are removing the peel or skin that we are keeping in petri dish. That petri dish already contains the water. Then after that, adding few drops of saffron in. Keep it for minimum 5 to 10 minutes. After that, remove that leaf, the peel or skin. Place it on a glass slide. Okay, place it on a glass slide. After that, after placing on a glass slide, just cover that with the help of cover slip. With the help of cover slip. This cover slip is nothing but is made up of glass only, very thin structure, very small. Okay, by using this cover slip, we are covering this part on a glass slide. Now, by taking this glass slide, you should observe under the microscope. See, last step is what? observe under microscope. Now, if you are observing in microscope, okay, which type of structure we are seeing under the microscope? How it looks? What is the shape and size structure of this cells? What we are observing under the microscope? Okay, just you see. Now we will draw a microscopic view. Okay. If after this step, when you are observing under microscope, how it will appear, how it will look, okay? This we commonly call microscopic view. I draw the structure like this only. You will observe under the microscope when we are using this glass slide. Okay. Mainly what we need for this activity? Lead, petri dish, water, peel, safranin, glass slide, cover slip, finally microscope. Okay. Now, see the structure, already some structures they are mentioning it in page number 72 only. Okay. In page number 72, the structure is there here. Okay. Like that only I will draw on board and see this how it will appear here. Like this. When you are observing under the microscope, the structure of these cells will appear like this. Okay, like this it will appear when you are seeing under the microscope. This is microscopic view, means how it will appear, how it will looks under the microscope. Now, here inside this many cells are there. Each cell that contain this structure. Okay, just you see here the structure I will draw here. Like this. Like these structures will appear in okay. See these structures. These structures are called as this one called as guard cells. This one is called as guard cells. This part is known as stomatal pore. This part is known as what? Stomatal pore. This part, epidermal cells. Epidermal cells, and also it contains chloroplast. Also, it contains what? Chloroplast. See, when you are observing under the microscope, like this structure you are seeing under the microscope, and the different parts you are observing in epidermal cells. What? Guard cells, stomatal pore, epidermal cells, and chloroplast. This structure I draw here. Okay, only this structure. See here. This we call what? Stomata. Already about this I discussed. Okay. Stomata present in epidermis as leaf. This stomata is known as small tiny pores present in a leaf. Very small tiny pores. This stomata contains this part, middle part is known as pore, stomatal pore. Okay. These two part is known as guard cells. These two part is known as guard cells, and here it contains nucleus as well as chloroplast. It contains what? Chloroplast. If chloroplast means chlorophyll is also present. Chlorophyll is also present. What is the role of this chlorophyll? This chlorophyll that mainly helps for the process of photosynthesis. Process of what? Photosynthesis. Why we are taking leaf means this leaf. Why we are taking means and why we are observing under the microscope means only to see the structure of the cells like epidermal cells, guard cells, in stomata. This stomata, okay, this is called as stomata. This one, this part is known as stomatal pore, and this part is known as guard cells. Inside the guard cells, chloroplast as well as nucleus is present. Now, what is the role of this stomata present in leaf? Already I said it mainly helps for exchange of gases. Exchange of gases like which one? O2 and CO2. Exchange of gases like O2 and CO2. So this is the activity. Now, what we are observing? Guard cells, stomatal pore, epidermal cells, chloroplast. Okay. Now, see here in this observation under the microscope, we observe the sheet of cells. We observe the sheet of cells, sheet of epidermal cells. This is the sheet of epidermal cells that contain what? Guard cells, stomatal pore, chloroplast. Guard cells, stomatal cell, chloroplast. This is the structure of the stomata. This one. This is the structure of the stomata. The layer of this epidermal cells. The layer of this epidermal cells is called as epidermis. Is called as epidermis. Epidermis means layer of epidermal cells. This layer of epidermal cells are called as epidermis. Okay, this layer of epidermal cells are called as epidermis, and other type of structures also seen. Other type of structures also seen with epidermis. Which one? These structures. What is these structures? These structures are nothing but as stomata. Stomata. That stomata contain main three parts: stomatal pore. This one is guard cells. Under the guard cells, chloroplast. Function of stomata: exchange of gases like O2 and CO2 in the process of photosynthesis as well as respiration. Okay. This is about activity 6.3 from the page number 72. And already you know that the functions of these epidermal cells mainly for protection. Okay. Now we will move towards, here we completed plant tissues. Okay. Here we completed plant tissues. The next part in this chapter, that one is animal tissues. See, this is the second part of this chapter. First part is about plant tissues, meristematic as well as permanent. Meristematic again alkaline, apical lateral intercalary, meristematic and permanent again two types. Which two types? One is called simple permanent, another one is called complex permanent. In simple permanent, again there are three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. In complex permanent, only two types. Which two types? Xylem and phloem. See here, in animal tissues are mainly four types. How many types of animal tissues are there here? Four types. Epithelial. First one, epithelial tissue. First one is which one? Epithelial. Like epidermis only, here epithelial. Then second one, connective tissue. Second one, which one? Connective tissue. Third one, muscular tissue. Third one, muscular tissue. Then last, fourth one is nervous tissue. Fourth one is which one? Nervous tissue. These are the main four types of animal tissues: epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. We human beings and animals are commonly known as complexly designed body. Means we have complex body. When we call complex body, the organism is made up of multicellular. Means multicellular organisms. These organisms contain the different types of body parts, different types of organs. Each different types of organs will perform particular functions. Okay. For surviving purpose, yesterday I said, we will perform different types of activities. Which different types of activities we are performing? Like respiration. In the process of breathing, inhaling oxygen, exhaling CO2 carbon dioxide. In the process of respiration, it releases some amount of energy. Then nutrition, the food what we are eating. With the help of eating the food, we are getting some energy in the form of nutrients, in the form of proteins, lipids, fat, vitamins. Okay. Then next, circulation, the transportation process. Transportation means which part that helps to transport the material in our body. Like yesterday I said, transportation. Only organ like heart that helps to pump the blood. Here blood is also known as connective tissue. Which type of connective tissue? Fluid connective tissue. Why? Because it connects each and every part of our body. Then muscles. We like see here. I am writing here something on board. The movement takes place in my hand. Okay. Here, movement takes place in my hand while walking, while running. The movement takes place in our legs with the help of muscles. That muscles that contain different types of tissues that helps to perform like writing on board, doing some activity, physical activity, walking, running. Then another one main part, nervous tissue. This nervous tissue that mainly helps to transfer the message from one part of the body to another part. Okay. This nervous tissue, here it contains the nerves. Okay. Nerves cells that contain. The main important part here, neuron. This neuron is known as structural and functional unit of this nervous system. Okay, which one? A neuron. And that you know, this epithelial, like epidermis in plants, are outer layer. Same in a way, this epithelial tissue means almost the outer layer of any organ in our body, the outer layer of our body. Which one? Skin. What we are seeing outer layer in our body? The first part we are seeing only skin. Okay. Our complete body is covered by skin. If it covered by skin means this skin also contains epithelial tissue. This skin also contains epithelial tissue. But in this epithelial tissue again there are many types that depend on their shape, size, structure, location and function. On the basis of this, epithelial tissue divides into four types. Then, connective tissue. This connective tissue that mainly helps to connect the one part of the body to another one. Like here, two bones are present. These two bones are connected with. See, here it is a bones. This bone, here it is connected with another bone, where some tissues are present that we call tendons and ligaments. One that helps to connect muscle to bone, another one that helps to connect bones to bone. Like that tissues that helps for the connection. Like that tissues are called as connective tissue. Muscular I said that helps for the activity, physical activity, what we are showing like running, walking. There are also movement of our legs while I am writing, while I am eating. At that time, movement of hand takes. At that time, the muscles present in this hand, that muscle contains some different types of tissues that helps to perform that activity. Nervous tissue that helps to connect, that helps to pass the information from one part of the body to another part. Because of that reason, because of the presence of these four tissues, which one? Epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous tissue. Because of presence of this only, we human beings and animals are performing different types of activities throughout the day. Okay, for surveying purpose also we are performing many types of activities. That are many types of activities what we are performing. That is because of the presence of these tissues. Remember, epithelial, connective, muscular, nervous. Now, see here. First one is which one? Epithelial tissue. This epithelial tissue commonly known as protective. This one is commonly known as which tissue? Protective tissue. Why? Because our whole body is covered by epithelial tissue only. Means skin. Our skin function is what? Normally that protects our body, that covers the body. Same in the way. Epithelial tissue that mainly helps for covering and protecting. And this epithelial tissue, here some different types are there. Which type? First one, squamous epithelial tissue, then cuboidal epithelial tissue, then columnar epithelial tissue, then last one ciliated epithelial tissue. Again here it is there, stratified squamous epithelial tissue. This is about the types of epithelial. While I am explaining about epithelial, clearly I will explain about these types. Okay. Then connective tissue. What is mean by connective? That I said connection, that mainly helps for the connection. Here it mainly contains fibers, made up of fibers. Here, on the basis of the arrangement of these fibers, like loose and dense and fluid. Fluid means I said which one is the fluid connective tissue? That one is blood. Okay. Then muscular. Here muscular tissue is also three types. Muscular tissue is also three types. This this one is mainly made up of myocytes. This one myocytes. And now types: striated unstriated, and last one cardia. Striated, unstriated, and last one is cardiac. This nervous tissue that mainly contains neuron. See, this is the types of animal tissues: epithelial, connective, muscular, nervous. Now, epithelial tissue, there are many types: squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated. Connective tissue, that is mainly made up of fibers. Like on the basis of the arrangement of the fibers, like loose and dense, we divided into many types again. While I am explaining about connective tissue again, and fluid also. In the medium of fluid is one blood. Muscular tissue, there are many types of tissues in muscles. Which one? Striated, unstriated, cardiac. Then last one, which one? Nervous tissue. In nervous tissue, the main one is neuron. Okay, neuron is known as structural and functional unit of the nervous system. Now we'll move towards first one. Which one? Epithelial tissue. In which part? Animal tissues. In epithelial tissue, first one about epithelial tissue. In page number, it starts from animal tissue starts from page number 74. Okay. Now, just you see here, I said to perform the different types of activities. Just you observe this structure in page number 72. Location of muscle fibers. Location of muscle fibers, and another one is different types of epithelial tissue. Different types of epithelial tissue. Epithelial means commonly. Okay. It is commonly known as only for one word. That word is protecting. Just now only I said protecting and covering. Just you think. Covering means our body is covered by what? Skin. First, covering means skin. It covers our body. Okay. Now, next question. Inside the body, we have many parts, many organs. Like there we have liver, we have kidney, there we have lungs, there we have heart and brain. Many are there. Okay. Just I am taking these many parts: liver, kidney, lungs, heart, brain. Protecting and covering. You take any organ that mainly protects by an outer layer, a small outer layer. That outer layer is nothing but as epithelial. You take any organ, if it is covered by a layer. See, I am taking we human beings. We human beings, our body is completely covered by skin. If it is skin is covered means that contains epithelial. You take heart. Heart is also covered by an outer layer. Means epithelial tissue is present. Liver, wherever, whichever, any part you take in our body, if it is covered by a layer, that layer is nothing but as epithelial tissue. The main function of this epithelial tissue, protecting and covering. Protecting and covering. Now see here, where it is present, the main location of the epithelial tissue in our body. Location means commonly protected. First, mainly in skin. Okay, mainly present in skin. Then, inner lining of the mouth. Inner lining of the mouth and throat inner lining of the mouth, throat, stomach, intestine. I heard this word intestine, small and large intestine. Okay. The inner lining of the mouth, throat, stomach, intestine. These all that covered by epithelial tissue. That covered by epithelial tissue. Which type of epithelial tissue? That I will tell you now. Okay. Why? Because in our body, the many parts are there, and we are performing many types of activities. That protection and covering by epithelial only, but on the basis of their size and structure, shape, this epithelial tissue divided into many types. Okay. Now, it also regulates which one function means it also helps for exchange of gases, and exchange of some material from body to from external environment it takes, and from our body we are releasing some waste to our surrounding environment. Okay. Now, what are the main functions of epithelial? About only epithelial. Okay. Not I am telling about different types of epithelial. Just I am telling the function of epithelial tissue. The main function you should remember that one is protection and covering. The main function is protection and covering. This is the first. Second one, it also have the role in physiological activity. Physiological activity. Also have role in physiological activity like respiratory gas, that exchange O2 and CO2, oxygen and carbon dioxide, and elimination of waste, also known as excretion. We are excreting some waste from our body. Okay. It also helps for respiration and elimination of waste and perform the secretion. Secretion is nothing but is to release or to produce. To release or to produce, and also helps for transport the material. Some different types of material are transported in our body. These are the main functions of epithelial tissue. Protection, role in physiological activity like exchange of respiratory gases, O2 and CO2. Then elimination of waste, also known as excretion. Then secretion of what? Enzymes and hormones. Some chemical substance released or secretes with the help of a glands in our body. That glands also contains some epithelial tissue. Which type of epithelial tissue now are there? And also helps for transport the material. This is the functions of epithelial. Okay. Now we'll move towards types of epithelial tissue. Types of epithelial tissue. See, what are the types? The types is mainly depend on shape and structure and function. Structure and function. Okay. On the basis of their structure and function. First one, squamous epithelial tissue. Squamous epithelial tissue. Then columnar epithelial tissue. Then after columnar, cuboidal epithelial tissue. Then ciliated. Have you heard the word cilia? Yes. Ciliated epithelial tissue. Then after ciliated, glandular epithelial tissue. Then last one, stratified squamous epithelial tissue. See, these are the types of epithelial tissue. Okay. How many types? Just you see, squamous, columnar, cuboidal, ciliated, glandular, and stratified squamous epithelial tissue. Just simple. What is mean by squamous? Squamous tissue is very simple in structure. Squamous tissue is very simple in structure. Here, cells are flat. In squamous epithelial tissue, they are very simple in structure and cells are flat. Cells are flat. Now, columnar itself it says the cells of these structures are like column, or we know it as pillar-like structures. Column or pillar-like structures, and they are tall. Pillar-like structures. Okay. Then cuboidal, cube-like structures. In the name only it says cube-like structures. Ciliated. Cilia have word. Heard cilia? Cilia is nothing but a small hair-like projections present inside the body in some parts. That ciliated means that contains cilia, small hair-like structures. Small hair-like structures. Then glandular. Glandular means related to glands. Gland function is always what? To secrete chemical substance in the form of enzymes, also as well as in the form of hormones. Glandular means related to glands. In glands, which type of epithelial tissue is present? Glandular epithelial tissue that forms the gland. Gland function is to secrete chemical substance in the form of enzymes and hormones. Where glands are many types. There are mainly two types, exocrine and endocrine. Both the glands are releasing some chemical substance, one in the form of enzymes and another one in the form of hormones. Then last one, stratified squamous epithelial tissue. Cells are arranged in many layers. Cells are arranged in many layers that we call stratified squamous epithelial tissue. Just to remember, I will explain one by one clearly now. First one, squamous. Squamous means a simple in structure. Cells are flat. Columnar itself the name says the cells are in column-like structure, pillar-like structure. They are tall. Cuboidal, cube-like structures. Remember, okay. After that, I will explain where it is present means location in our body and what is the function of this one. Ciliated, cells that contain cilia. Cilia are nothing but small hair-like structures. Glandular, made up of glands are made up of glandular epithelial tissue. Function is to secretion of chemical substance. It helps to secrete a chemical substance. Which type of chemical substance? Like enzymes and hormones. Then last one, stratified squamous epithelial tissue. When it comes to stratified means this tissue that contain many layers. Just to think, here it is a single layer. If it is single layer and flat means it is squamous. If it contains many layers, like, then it is called as stratified. If it is contain many layers means it is called as stratified. If it is in See, the basement is flat, okay, like this. If it is flat means squamous. If the layers are arranged one by one, many layers, that one is squamous, stratified squamous. If it is arranged in pillar-like structures like this, or column-like structures, that one is called as columnar. That one is called as columnar. Now, if it is arranged in cube-like structures, if it is arranged in cube-like structures, then it is called as cuboidal epithelial tissue. When it contains the cilia, just to think, it contains the cilia, small hair-like structures like this. Small hair-like structures, both sides. Small hair-like structures means that one is ciliated. When it comes to glandular glands, this tissue folds inside like this. This tissue folds inside. That type of tissue is known as glandular epithelial tissue, and this glandular epithelial tissue that forms the glands and that secretes enzymes and hormones. And when it is layers, many layers arranged one above the above, that we call which one? Stratified squamous epithelial tissue. Now, with the help of this structure, the structure is also there in your textbook also, okay? With the help of their structure, I will explain one by one. Just to remember this, okay? Now, in epithelial tissue, first one, squamous epithelial tissue. Just you see the structure. See, this one, first one. Here four are there: squamous, cuboidal, columnar, stratified. Squamous means the structure is like this, flat in structure. Flat in structure. These are known as stratified squamous epithelial tissue. This one is squamous epithelial tissue. It is flat and simple. It is flat and simple and thin in structure. Very flat like this, okay? A single layer, flat, thin single layer is known as squamous, and the edge is attached to another edge. The one edge is attached to the another edge here, and it forms a long, flat, thin structure. That tissue is known as squamous tissue. Where it present? Squamous tissue. Squamous tissue is mainly present in blood vessels. Have you heard this word? Blood vessels. There are three types: arteries, veins, and capillaries. It is mainly present in blood vessels. Also present in lymph vessels. Like blood only, in our body another fluid substance is there that we call lymph. It is in colorless, okay? Blood, it is in red in color. Both are transported with the help of vessels. These vessels are mainly made by flat, thin tissue. Which one? Squamous. The main function, protection. Another one, covering. Present in which parts? Blood, lymph, and it is also present in alveoli of the lungs. Alveoli of lungs, also present in nephrons of the kidney. Nephrons of kidney. These part, which parts? Blood vessels, lymph vessels, alveoli of the lungs, and nephrons of kidney. These parts that contain flat and simple and thin in structure. Which type of tissue that contains flat, thin and simple? That one is squamous epithelial tissue. That makes the inner lining of blood vessels, inner lining of lymph vessels, alveoli of the lungs. Alveoli are nothing but as arranged like in bunches of grapes like this. Okay, these are present inside the lungs. That helps for exchange of gases. That helps for exchange of gases. Then nephron of the kidney. Again, nephron is a structural and functional unit of the kidney. That again, that here mainly helps for excretion. Kidney function is what? That filter the blood and that helps to excrete the waste material from the blood. Okay, and function. Now, function of this epithelial tissue is protection. The function of epithelial tissue is protection of underlying parts. Protection of underlying parts against the injury. Against the injury. Which type of injury? Mechanical injury. Against the mechanical injury, and it also prevents entry of germs. Germs are nothing but as microbes. It also prevents entry of germs. Which type of germs? Unwanted microbes. And it also prevents chemical. Prevents the entry of germs and chemicals, and it also helps for the process of excretion and exchange of gas. Because just now only I said where it locates. Okay, nephrons of the kidney. Nephrons of the kidney means excretion. Lungs of the alveoli means exchange of gas. Related to their parts where it present, same in the way related to that part it functions. Which type of functions? Now location I will tell. Epithelial tissue. Nephrons of the kidney, excretion. The another location, alveoli of the lungs, exchange of gas. Epidermis layer here, entry of germs, that prevents the entry of germs as well as chemical. Then another one, protection of what? Underlying part against mechanical injury. This is about what? First one, squamous epithelial tissue. Whenever you will hear the word squamous means very flat in structure. Flat in structure, very simple and thin. Main function of this epithelial tissue, protection and covering. The shape of this epithelial tissue is like this. Okay, just remember this one. And tomorrow I will discuss the remaining types, which are cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, glandular, and stratified.